Your dog fell asleep an hour ago and you barely glanced at them. They are in the corner, curled tight, back pressed against the wall. You thought nothing of it. You never do. But veterinary behaviorists have documented that the position a dog chooses when they sleep is one of the most honest communications their body makes all day. Not because dogs choose to communicate it, because they cannot hide it. Sleep strips away every learned behavior, every trained response, every social performance. What is left is raw biological signal. And if you know how to read it, your dog has been telling you something every single night. Some of it is beautiful. Some of it should send you to the phone. By the end of this video, you will never look at your sleeping dog the same way again. Welcome to PAW'S Mind. If you are new here, subscribe right now because this channel goes deeper into what your dog is actually telling you than anything else you will find. There are 9 sleeping positions to cover today. Some of them reveal that your dog feels completely safe. Others reveal something your dog cannot say out loud, and that you may have been missing for weeks. Sign 1 is the one I want you to go check right now, today, before this video ends. But we are starting with 9 and working down. Pay attention to all of them. Sign 9. The tight curl. Sign 9. Your dog curls into a tight ball. Nose tucked toward their tail. Paws pulled inward. Body as compact as possible. Most owners see this and think their dog is cold or simply comfortable. And sometimes that is true. But here is what that position actually comes from. The tight curl is the oldest sleeping posture in canine evolution. It is what wolves do in the open when they sleep without shelter. Every vulnerable surface, the stomach, the throat, the chest, is protected by the body itself. The nose stays near the tail to conserve warmth and to keep the airway close to the warmer ground. When a dog curls tightly in a warm home with no environmental threat, they are not cold. They are telling you that some part of their nervous system has not fully relaxed. They feel exposed. The curl is self-protection when the environment has not given them enough signals of safety. This is not an emergency sign on its own. But a dog who always sleeps in a tight curl, never sprawling, never rolling onto their side, never stretching out, is a dog whose nervous system is chronically on alert. That pattern is worth paying attention to. A truly settled dog should have moments of full extension. If yours never does, the environment, the routine, or something physical may be keeping them in a permanent low-level state of guard. But the tight curl is only the beginning. The next position is one most owners celebrate. They are misreading it. Sign 8. The Superman position. Sign 8. Your dog lies flat on their stomach, legs stretched forward and back, chin on the floor, completely extended. This one looks adorable. Owners photograph it constantly. And in puppies and young dogs, it usually is just that, a comfortable, playful resting pose that allows them to spring up quickly. But here is what most owners do not know. In adult dogs, the Superman position during rest, particularly when the dog is doing it for extended periods or is difficult to rouse from it, can indicate joint discomfort. Specifically, it can signal that lying on their side or back is uncomfortable. Dogs with developing hip dysplasia or early spinal issues sometimes shift to the Superman position because it keeps weight distributed evenly across the body and avoids the lateral pressure that other positions place on the hips. Research in veterinary orthopedics has consistently noted that changes in resting posture, including new preferences for the prone position, are among the earliest behavioral indicators of musculoskeletal pain in dogs, appearing weeks before a visible limp. If your dog has always slept this way, it is likely just their preference. If this position appeared recently and replaced their previous sleeping habits, that change is the signal. Changes in sleep posture in adult dogs always deserve a second look. Sign 7. Back pressed against a wall or furniture. Sign 7. Your dog chooses to sleep with their back against a wall, a couch, or a piece of furniture every single time. Most owners assume their dog just likes the support. The wall feels solid, comfortable. The reality is layered. The back is a dog's most vulnerable surface. Exposed spinal column, no defensive capability. In the wild, sleeping with the back exposed is dangerous. So a dog who consistently positions their back against something solid is managing that vulnerability. They are reducing the number of directions from which something can approach them. In a healthy, well-socialized dog who has other positive sleep behaviors, This can simply mean they feel safe enough to sleep deeply but are still running low-level environmental awareness. That is normal. The concern is when this behavior appears suddenly in a dog who previously slept in open spaces. A dog who used to sleep in the center of the room and now only sleeps pressed against walls may be experiencing a threat they cannot identify, a noise frequency humans cannot hear, a change in the home's chemical environment, or the early stages of a sensory decline, such as hearing loss, that is making them feel less able to monitor their surroundings. Animal behaviorists describe sudden changes in sleep location preferences as one of the underused early indicators of sensory deterioration in aging dogs. If your dog is over 7 and this shift has appeared in the last few months, it warrants a conversation with your vet. And remember, I promised you sign 1. That is coming. It is the one that changes how you see every night you have spent in the same house as your dog. Stay with me. Sign 6. Sleeping face down, nose to the floor. Sign 6. Your dog sleeps with their face pressed directly downward, nose flat against the floor or their paws, eyes covered. This one looks sweet. The nose buried, the eyes hidden. But there are 2 very different versions of this behavior, and the difference matters. Version 1 is a dog in a bright room choosing to cover their eyes for darkness. This is the canine equivalent of pulling a pillow over your face. It is a sign of a dog who wants more rest than the environment is offering. Not a health concern, an environment concern. This dog may need a darker, quieter sleep space. Version 2 is a dog doing this in a room that is already dim and quiet. This dog is not blocking out light. They are shielding their face. Dogs experiencing sinus pressure, dental pain, or early stage eye discomfort sometimes rest with their face pressed downward because it provides mild counterpressure relief. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Dentistry found that dogs with undiagnosed dental disease frequently showed increased facial pressing behaviors during rest before any appetite change or behavioral aggression appeared. The discomfort was there. The owner had no framework to read it. If your dog presses their face against surfaces during sleep and is over 4 years old with no recent dental assessment, schedule the exam. Sign 5. The isolated sleeper. Sign 5. Your dog consistently chooses to sleep in a separate room, or as far as physically possible from where you are. Most owners take this personally or dismiss it entirely. They are too warm in here. They just like their space. The truth is more significant than either of those. Dogs are pack sleepers by biology. Wolves sleep in contact with each other. Wild dogs sleep pressed together. Domestic dogs are wired to seek proximity to their bonded humans during the most vulnerable hours of the day. Research on canine social attachment published in Applied Animal Behavior Science found that bonded dogs who voluntarily chose maximum distance from their owners during sleep showed measurably higher baseline cortisol levels than dogs who slept in close proximity, indicating a chronic, low-level stress state rather than a preference for solitude. A dog who has always preferred a separate space as their established norm may simply have found the spot that feels safest to them. But a dog who used to sleep near you and has begun moving further away over weeks or months is increasing their distance for a reason. That reason is worth understanding. It may be discomfort when lying near activity. It may be an emotional shift in the relationship. It may be the beginning of an illness that is making them seek isolation the way wild animals seek isolation when they feel weak. Do not dismiss the distance. It is a direction. Sign 4. Restless. Repositioning repeatedly through the night. Sign 4. Your dog cannot seem to settle. They lie down, get up, circle, lie down somewhere else, get up again. This repeats throughout the night. In puppies, this is developmental. In adult dogs, it is almost always a signal. The most common cause is physical discomfort that becomes impossible to ignore during stillness. During waking hours, movement, distraction, and low-level activity mask pain. During sleep, when the nervous system quiets, discomfort that was manageable becomes the dominant signal. The dog cannot find a position that does not hurt, so they keep moving. Arthritis, gastrointestinal pain, and neurological discomfort are the most frequently documented causes of nighttime restlessness in adult dogs, according to research in the Journal of Veterinary Internal Medicine. Cognitive dysfunction syndrome in older dogs, the canine equivalent of dementia, also presents with nighttime restlessness as one of its earliest markers. often years before other symptoms appear. If your dog is over 8 and has developed nighttime pacing or repositioning in the last 6 months, raise it at your next veterinary visit. Early-stage cognitive dysfunction is manageable. Late stage is not. The action threshold here is clear. One restless night after an unusual day is nothing. A pattern of restless nights across more than 2 weeks is a vet call. Sign 3. Always sleeping with one eye open or flinching easily when touched. Sign 3. Your dog never seems to fully surrender to sleep. They are technically resting, but their eyes are never fully closed. They flinch or lift their head at the slightest sound. They seem exhausted but cannot cross into deep sleep. This is one of the most overlooked signs on this list because it does not look like illness. It looks like a light sleeper. But a dog who chronically cannot reach deep sleep is a dog under a stress load their system cannot resolve. The biological marker here is cortisol. A dog whose cortisol levels remain elevated due to chronic anxiety, environmental unpredictability, an unresolved physical condition, or a household emotional climate that keeps their nervous system activated, will not drop into the deep REM sleep their body requires for immune function, emotional regulation, and cellular repair. Research from veterinary behavioral medicine has confirmed that dogs with untreated anxiety disorders sleep less deeply, wake more often, and show faster physical deterioration over time than dogs with matched environments whose anxiety is addressed. Sleep is not optional for a dog. It is where they recover from being alive. If your dog appears perpetually tired but never seems rested, something is keeping their nervous system from releasing. That something needs to be found. Sign 2. Sleeping positions that guard a specific body part. Sign 2. Your dog consistently curls around, covers, or avoids putting pressure on one specific part of their body during sleep. This is the one that most owners never connect because it requires watching your dog sleep more than once and noticing a pattern rather than a moment. A dog who always curls so that their left hip is facing upward. A dog who tucks their right front leg in a way that keeps it lifted off the floor even during rest. A dog who always lies with their head angled to one side and never the other. These are not random preferences. These are accommodations. When a specific body part hurts, dogs learn to sleep around it. They find positions that minimize contact with the sore area. They do this so efficiently and so consistently that the pattern becomes invisible. The limp never appears. The whimper never comes. The sleep simply reshapes itself around the pain. A study published in the Journal of Small Animal Practice documented that dogs with confirmed orthopedic injuries frequently showed sleep position asymmetry, a consistent preference for positions that unloaded the affected limb or joint before any observable gait abnormality appeared in clinical examination. Your dog's sleep geometry is a map. If you start watching, you will see it. Sign 1. The positioning toward you. Sign 1. Your dog, wherever they sleep, positions their body so that some part of them is oriented toward you. Their nose points in the direction of your room. Their back faces the door you are behind. On the nights they sleep beside you, they are always facing you. Most owners have never noticed this. The ones who have assumed it was coincidence. It is not coincidence. It is a choice their sleeping brain makes even when their conscious mind is completely offline. Here is what is actually happening. Dogs maintain positional awareness of their bonded humans even during sleep. Studies using movement tracking and neurological monitoring in domestic dogs have found that dogs in homes with strong attachment bonds make micropositional adjustments throughout the night to maintain orientation toward their primary person. The behavior is not learned. It is not trained. It emerges from the same ancient neural circuitry that kept pack members oriented toward each other across thousands of years of sleeping in the open. And here is the part that changes everything. The nights your dog is not oriented toward you, the nights they face away, face the wall, sleep in a different room than usual with no environmental reason, those are the nights worth paying attention to. A shift in orientation during sleep is one of the earliest and most overlooked indicators of emotional distance or physical withdrawal in dogs. Pain, illness, and unresolved anxiety all pull a dog inward. They stop orienting outward. They stop pointing toward you. Your dog has been telling you where you stand in their world every single night. Not with their bark. Not with their tail. with the direction they point while they are asleep and have nothing left to perform. So the next time you walk past your sleeping dog, do not just check that they are breathing. Notice where they are pointing, because a dog who points toward you in sleep is a dog who has decided, even in their most unguarded moments, that you are the direction safety lives. That is not just a sleeping position. That is a declaration. Here is the truth about all 9 of these signs. None of them are dramatic. None of them will ever look like an emergency until it is too late to be early. The tight curl that never loosens. The Superman position that appeared last month. The dog who used to sleep beside you and now sleeps by the door. The restless nights you chalked up to weather. These are your dog's body communicating in the only language it has left when everything else is switched off. You are the only one who sees your dog sleep. Your vet does not. A trainer does not. You do. And what you do with that access, whether you notice the patterns or overlook them, may be the most important thing you do for your dog this year. Now you know what to look for. If this changed the way you see your dog sleep, share it with someone whose dog deserves to have an owner who pays attention. Subscribe to PAW'S Mind. We go deep on dog behavior every single week. The signs most owners miss, the signals hiding in plain sight, the quiet conversations happening between you and your dog that you did not know you were having. And if your dog has been following you from room to room more than usual lately, not just at walk time, not just at meal time, but all day, everywhere, there is a reason behind that behavior that goes much deeper than companionship. That video is next.